See who's joining. Proof. So yeah, I think we might be ready. Wow, a lot of people are already loving it. How are you guys? How are you? Joaquin, Cande, glad to see you. Kurt, awesome. Thank you so much. Jack, Brian, Neff, awesome. There's the whole thing. That's great. That's great. Great to have you guys. I'm really glad that you guys managed to jump in. Um, yeah. Today's topic is really interesting. We are getting hot, like we are already getting into action. And today's topic, I don't want to rush this process and try to jump right into um, the specifics of optimizing without having a proper setup. That's what we are doing today. That's where we are going through today on this kind of the approach, the broader approach that I'm making sure that that is going to be much more um, uh, detail in the course. So we are going to be running through this one, try to understand, answer the questions that you guys might have on this topic, and then on the specific course related to setting up your baseline, we are going to be having more guided action. So that's what I expect um, that I'll be able to share. So I'm going to share my screen. I will try to keep inviting people in, but either way, let's just start. So this is an important step. Um, Before starting to optimize anything, we have to understand that there's things that we need to measure in kind of the best way that we can. And this is the most tricky one because AI is a black box. We don't have first party data so far that we can rely on to have like one-to-one data to measure everything. Um, Still, there's no one process to follow. We have one that is the one that is based on fundamentals. So we are confident enough that if you follow this process, you guys will get to build the foundations on what will become your presence in the AI era. As I just mentioned on the AI Edge Summit call, I think chatbots are just the starting point, to be honest. And the next thing that you will see is that you will have one robot whispering recommendations to your customers, and that's where things get really exciting. And that's why it's really important to be on this topic, understanding the processes right now rather than later when everything is like more competed. So yeah, as I was mentioning, AI answer engines are probabilistic black boxes. So the difference with traditional or in the indexes is that these index sources are based on deterministic algorithms. So you will be checking off thing by things, and these changes will be pushing you up and down a ranking. That's not longer true with AI answer engines. They build understanding and their answers in a different way, and you might have this experience, but um, you could have different results with the same question, and that's the power of it, and also that's something to understand from this standpoint. Things might change as these models get more important, but the truth of the matter is that AI is here to stay, and that we are trusting it more and more with things that we have on each day. We work on that. We ask for recommendation. We solve quick questions. We even perform personal um, put personal issues in this chatbot. So that's the kind of trust that we are building there. So yeah, let's continue. The approach that we are giving you guys is again the brain framework. We cover brand, authority, and indexability. But before getting started, so the question here, right before spending any time and effort, will be to know if I know that most of you will have everything, or even more than that, and you will want to jump right straight into the details. But it's still important to mention these things because some things might be missing or anything. So the questions that might be worth asking at this point will be: do I have the basics on? What am I missing from the things that I might just skipped? And what's my reference point? Those are the questions that we are going to be trying to establish in order for us to like start with the right foot. Um, the baseline for this is based on two basic elements that I consider. The two bare minimum elements before optimizing I consider are, well, your assets, the things that you are going to optimize for, and a data layer. Again, AI is tricky right now, but we are going to use what we have, and then we will look if there some other sources of information that we can base our decisions on. So part of the assets are, of course, our website that now I think is we're calling it our entity home. So in the past, we will try to put our website label like a broad category, like a business coaching service or whatever, which is really broad. A lot of different types of businesses might feed on that, and we will try to target that because they will have the most traffic. But that didn't end up being like uh, a proper conversion and everything. So the hope right now with AI is that building relevance and building a proper entity. An entity is something that is really defined by relationships. So what's the difference with uh, me that have this name Julian Lopez with the other Julian Lopez in Spain, which has a better search results page in Google, for example, is that he's got more relationships that are more visible, that are more credible, that have more weight in the searches and everything like that. So its entity is a little bit more stronger than well, he's an actor. Is of course a lot more is a lot stronger than mine, but yeah. So that's the thing. We need to, rather than just define or enter some written text about our business, we need to think it like an entity that needs to be defined by relationships. That's how AI and machines understand one thing. They can tell apart one thing from another. Uh, the second thing that I consider an asset that is really important for this process is brand guidelines. And the better defined you have these guidelines and built in your processes, the better results you will have. Brand is an asset that I consider to be overlooked by most people um, because it doesn't quite, you can measure the lift on that like easily. So that's why I consider that it might be overlooked by some people. But right now, today, and more so in the future, this is going to be the defining feature. That's how well AI understand your brand, different from others, and is able to measure its value. That's going to be the thing that moves the needle the most. That's going to be the thing that builds your authority at the end. And the third asset that I consider to be really important are the external profiles. The external profiles are the things that help you further define your entity because you are not just a website claiming to be one person that provides any service that is valuable because I said so. Instead, there's external profiles that will build the understanding that you are that specific person and that you provide that service and that you are relevant. That's the one of the end goals of this external profiles and entity optimization to build relevance in a specific topic. So let's go right into our website. Well, really, really basic things that some people might overlook sometimes will be the SSL certificate. So this is the first thing. Uh, Browsers are already optimized to not allow you to enter a site without an SSL certificate. This is the first sign of trust. A domain name and host, the domain name has to be like properly optimized for your brand. The closer to your brand name, the better. But still, it's not the end of the world if you don't have that specific exact match. But you will try to get one that is like as close as to your name brand is. And at the end, well, a proper CMS with, and a site structure that is understandable. So the CMS is really key because it will allow us or block us from getting some of these optimizations done. Um, I recommend WordPress because it's the most used one, the one that has the bigger community, the best kind of not direct support, but you have a lot of people that have gone through the issues that you might encounter. So that's a great place to stay with the one of the CMSs that are most used and more flexible in that sense. So you will be able to get the most out of just this CMS rather than others that might not have the same coverage. Site structure is really important. There's basic things that maybe some people might overlook. An about page is key. That's where AI and Google looks to find your facts. So if you don't have your facts straight there, or you don't have the same claims in your about page, in your external profiles, that will be considered as noise. So there's some best practices that we are going to be digging deep a little bit further on the course on the AEO blueprint. Contact privacy policy, the importance of having consistent name, address, and phone on like local businesses and everything. All of these signals, that's how machines understand that you are the same person, the same business, and that is going to build proper credibility. If you don't have these things dialed in, that wouldn't kill your site, but it will make a dent. And this game of optimization is 100 things done rather than one thing done perfectly. So that's something really interesting to keep in mind. Um, well, for specific business types, local businesses need to have a Google business profile, and for Google, this is the most important thing that they look for corroboration. And Google Merchant Center if you have physical product data and to manage that and to be able to enter all of the different Google features and platforms. For brand guidelines for people that are not as familiar, I have over 8 years of branding experience. There's three things that I will highlight the most, like what is the brand purpose? What is the reason for existence beyond profit? So this is not something that appeals to machines, but rather help you stick to the mind of your audience. Um, I just shared a couple of days ago one recommendation from Ryan Reynolds. If you don't know Ryan Reynolds, beyond being a comedy actor and uh, he's a terrific entrepreneur, and he says that every time the thing that he will invest the most will be on emotional connection with a brand. He says that that's the most important thing. That's the thing that really propels the brand, the business forward, because that goes beyond the features, that goes beyond um, other things that we consider to be the most important because we work on those things day by day. But the emotional connection, we are still at the end of the day, we are still humans trying to create connections. And if you are able to align your business purpose with your audience purposes, that's going to build like a link. Then and there you will see that you wouldn't need to promote your brand or anything. You will need to hire some people to talk about you on Reddit because people will do that on its own. So that's something that I would like to leave you guys with, an interesting angle that might be overlooked, that I consider to be one of the most important ones looking forward. The brand vision, well, long-term aspirations and goals. So the more things that we talk about that relate to the common ground that we have with our audience, the better connections we get, the most emotional connections we get to build with them, and the more invested they are on the things that we talk about and our products and services. So this is something that gets them to really stick with our products and to talk about our businesses organically without us having to tell them. Well, and core values, the principles and beliefs, and well, yeah, this is kind of the essence is the thing that is most um, like less defined, but it is reflected on everything that we do on our marketing, basically. The other element of branding is the brand expression, and this is what you guys are most aware of, like having a proper personality. This is how you express. This is how you put your messaging. This is how you express visually, logos, color palettes, everything that goes beyond the purpose of the brand. And this is also important, but I will say that the essence is also something that is really worth taking its time to develop and keep consistently pushing out for people, because that's going to be the bigger link. I have you guys one recommendation here, which I'm really a big fan of, which is the building a story brand. I like this because it helped me. As I mentioned before, I'm a recovering graphic designer. What I didn't like about graphic design is, well, I like to design graphics, but I didn't like not having as much impact in the business outcomes. And what this book helped me understand is that, well, marketing and having the proper connection, the messaging importance is really, really important. And the framework that they provide is just amazing because it's based on human behavior from the cave, from the cave times. That's what I consider to be the most important. I think this will be my bigger recommendation if you guys haven't defined, outlined, or proposed a brand expression or anything. This is really hands-on, easy to understand, really basic. They promote clarity over cleverness. So instead of trying to be poetic or something in your messaging, you rather be clear, because people have to decipher what you are trying to say, instead of building lasting memories or something. You should say, uh, uh, mm, I'm not exactly sure what I wanted to say there, but it will be whatever your service is, you should be clear about what you offer, and that's why they propose. And this is based on storytelling. So uh, for the longest time, the way that we transfer information is through storytelling. So I could try to tell you, like in college or in school, like these concepts, and these concepts are important for something in the future, and you should memorize them or whatever. And that's a huge effort for a kid or a person to try to take these things into your mind. Or you could take the long or the most important route of transferring information that we have from thousands of years, which are stories. For the longest time, we've spent time around the fire, uh, teaching things through stories, telling them, hey, there was this person that had this problem and something happened, but they found this person that helped them overcome that. They found a plan. The person changed his behavior, took action, and instead of failing as he was supposed to, and what his fear was about failure, he ended up being successful. In that way, you are able to build the most direct um, um, connection to the thing that you wanted to teach in the memory of the person that is just listening to you. So this is just a broad and really butchered explanation of what it is. I'm confident that you guys are going to find this much clearer. So if you guys don't have a really specific outlined branding definition for your business, I would highly recommend this source to you. Um, well, the next section beyond the branding element will be the external profiles. These are the connections that you do beyond your website, and we have noticed over and over that AI doesn't rely 100% on your website. It goes to your LinkedIn, X, YouTube profile. So you should pick which ones are the most relevant to your audience, which ones appear the most in answers related to your business. So that's what I will do. I will always try to reverse engineer from the answer. I will try to find what's already working right now and try to start from there instead of trying to figure out like where should I start or everything. That's a great point that I consider to be really valuable if we are just starting. There's also, well, review sites and directories. These are validation points for AI. They go through those sites and try to read the reviews and the opinions there. And there's also for authority building is really important if you are able to link other profiles that are really relevant to your authority in that space. So if you are an actor, you could link your IMDb. So IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, is really important because it's kind of the Wikipedia for audiovisual products. But what's interesting there is that you don't have to be on a movie. You can be a podcast director or even a podcast guest. Like right now, I think you can create an IMDb profile and like appear that you were a guest on one specific podcast, and that will count. That will count massively because IMDb is really authoritative on that space. That the same happens for Amazon. If you have the opportunity to publish a book, that relationship, that connection to Amazon, to industry relevant asset like a book is going to be like one of the bigger lifts. So if you guys have that in your plans, well, I think it's time to start or to consider starting soon, because those are the things that will build the authority that you will reap the most rewards on looking forward. There's also podcast sites or well, these different places where you publish your own podcast if you have one or if you consider one. You don't have to be there 100%. Maybe you can plan on making 20 episodes for starters and just have that be an asset that lives through time. That would be also worth considering. If you have any articles done about you, those are really interesting, and you can also pay for um, digital PR. So you can create this, pay for them, have them appear on search results, and that will be something that you could also help build your entity further, better understanding about who you are, what you offer, what your business is. So this is really important. The next step after assets, I think, will be first party data. We don't have specifically first party data on AI. Like there's no way right now that we can gather that information, like how many people come specifically from AI to my site, uh, differently from just referral traffic, which is kind of in between. Like we don't have that to be a proper um, like trusted one-to-one like data point that we can trust on, but still a signal that we should consider. We have ways, and I think I shared this one on the community, is that you can connect your Search Console data and try to filter out referral data from Perplexity, ChatGPT, and all of these other sources. You are able to gather some of this information, but again, it's not 100% because not all the time these these bots are identified, or this referral traffic doesn't come through your privacy filters or anything like that. But still, like, those are the tools that we have. Those are the things where we should be able to measure some lift, some changes. So that's what we have to work on. Um, and one thing that is kind of contrarian will be surveys. I think that the most relevant data point that you could get is asking an actual lead or a new customer, where did you find us? And if they say ChatGPT or anything, well, you can ask them, like, what question did you ask? What did you ask? And that will be worth a lot of effort, because that's an approach, an interesting approach that Kasim has been sharing with me, and that he has told on this. He has shared on these calls, which he did on Solutions Aid. So he spent some time asking people this thing on their sales scripts, asking them, uh, ask each one of every lead, how did they find us, and if they find us through YouTube, take the time to ask them, like, what was the first video that you found about us. And that's like the most valuable information, because then you have the most important data point to optimize for. You know that that specific video or that specific article or the profile or whatever thing was that moved the needle, and then you will just do more of that. So I think surveys are something that might come up more now than that we don't have that specific data points available for us, that those metrics. We still can use third-party data. We can use SEO metrics tools, not for rank tracking, which was the most important use in the past, but for competitor analysis. Having a view of who else is targeting or broad keywords, who else is in our categories, who else is optimizing for industry relevant terms, is really important for us, because we are able to see inside of their own websites what are the actions that they are doing that we might be overlooking or something like that. We can gather keyword insights. Again, keywords are not the main goal of us, but still, these are the ways that we get into the index. So we still have to target some keywords broadly on the main pages, but most of the work is going to be done through answer optimized content and having like chunked information that is retrievable, and all of the things that we are going to be looking at further down. So still worth looking at, keeping it in mind to target keywords in the page level, because that's where AI is able to find us much more much easier. And well, for site artists, there's a lot of tools that are also really useful. The technical aspect cannot be overlooked. Is the first step. That's where you know that everything is working as expected, and that's something that we just cannot avoid. Now I would like to propose like a proper process that, again, AI visibility is challenging. We can ask the questions that we consider to be our most relevant questions, and we will have different results, and everything should be volatile. But either way, we don't have any other thing. I like to say that, and I say that in a couple of emails. The AI era right now is a storm. We cannot expect to have a radar. Nobody has built that. We are not able to pinpoint the exact coordinates where our brand is, but AI visibility exercises or AI visibility tools might give us a proper direction, like a compass. So we don't have the specific point in which where we are, but we will have a better direction, that like not doing anything like that. So take brand visibility with a grain of salt. There's many tools out there, and that's how you know that this is like getting commoditized, and that if anyone can do it, well, why shouldn't I do it? What is the value of having this tool? So I will advise you guys to run this AI visibility exercise yourself first, understand where you stand, like what the URLs are before trusting your decisions in some tools that have like, I don't know what frameworks or what processes do they follow. So this is an important thing that would like to leave you guys with. Um, the first thing that I like to ask you to do for your own brand is to search for your brand name on Google or traditional search. That's the first clue that you are able to get. So you are able to see if first are you a top result? These are interesting questions to ask once you go and do this exercise. Do you own a knowledge panel? A knowledge panel is pretty much when you know that Google understands who you are specifically. So this is an interesting target to aim for. And you get that knowledge panel well, with time, giving time to Google to really understand it, or help it through building proper entity connections with external sites, mentions, podcasts, everything like that, and tie that with schema markup, the same as property. So we are going to be going through that in the course. Your social profile should be part of that. Beyond your website, you need to cover all of the rest of the results so that you make sure that you are being the source of that branded query. There's a challenge, of course, when you are competing with similarly named companies, and the challenge will be to be the to get on top of them. So if they already have a big footprint on that, that's going to complicate things a little bit more. But this is just an exercise on traditional, so we are not going to kill ourselves about getting there and be the top one just yet. Mostly because there's other ways that you can do so, creating other profiles, and AI is much better to find those. So this is really an interesting exercise for starters to get a reference to see how well the landscape is for your brand in the index. So yeah, as a rule of thumb, the people with a knowledge panel with more images that are related to them are a signal of a stronger entity, and those are the ones that win. You could have a name that is common, but if it's properly optimized, your results will be only yours, and machines, Google and AI will understand it, and ChatGPT will be able to recommend you if they have that knowledge, that understanding. Next, I will consider you guys to follow up with AI branded queries. So you will ask specifically, what does my brand name do? And that's where you will know. That's where you will know how much AI understand your business. If it's confusing you with other brand, or if it is not able to find anything about that specific brand. So these are really interesting things to understand a baseline where we are at this current time. So we will ask things like, is the summary accurate? Can you dig deeper? So I ask more deeper and deeper questions about my products or pricing or services or terms and conditions? So is AI able to gather that information from me, or we are having issues on that sense? Does it confuse me with a competitor or on a different market? Those are the things that are the most valuable because we are able to put our business in one place, and then we know where to go. And the last one, which is the ongoing exercise that I will recommend you guys to do, is to find 5 questions, 5 queries that your ideal customer will ask before they know you exist. So it will be really, really relevant without mentioning your brand. So it will be solution aware. So if I offer a CRM for a specific audience in a specific location, that should be your question. And the more specific that you can go, the better, because that's going to show AI. That's going to show how well you are positioned, how visible you are for that type of question that your customers might be asking. That's the end goal of this whole thing: is to get recommended, is to be understood for what we offer, is to be considered as an authority, as a valuable answer, and then get recommended. So if you are recommended, that's great, that's amazing. That's best place to be right now, because then you will just mostly focus on pushing your brand further and increasing your authority and like locking in that specific visibility place. If you are recommended what position you are in, if you are in a lower position, there's chances that by reading the other positions, you will know what type of things AI considers to be more important to give you that order or something. So that's interesting. So, and if you are not being recommended, the most important question will be like, who is actually being recommended? What are they doing right? So that's going to give us the right direction. If we are not recommended, we know where we are at, but looking at who is being recommended is going to give us the direction that we should be working towards. So well, for this purpose, I created the baseline setup checklist, which goes through all of these processes from the most basic about the assets, the data profiles that you need to set up in order to gather some information around your business, and then these types of questions that you guys might ask might follow to have an understanding of where you are at this moment. And once you go through this checklist, you will be better prepared to start to understand, like, go and try to get a proper indexability to give access to AI to your information and dive a little bit deeper. But this exercise I consider to be really, really important for all of us to do before starting to optimize. Before optimizing, we need to know first where we are, and then we will work towards where we want to be. So yeah, that's it for this topic, this broad topic. I would like to know if you guys have any specific questions. If you consider that I missed something, that I might have mentioned something. I know that I skipped one thing, but that's because I want to really find the tool. And that's on first party data, the one that I'm looking at the most will be bot traffic, but that's done through server logs, and that's still like somewhere where I haven't found the right tool to find it. That will be the thing. So if you want to know how much AI is able to find your information, is through the door of the server. You will be able to see which bots are entering your site and which pages they are requesting information from. So that's one thing that I'm currently researching. That's why I didn't include that. But whenever I find something that is directionally correct, I will share the guide, will share the tool, and we will get to learn together. So yeah, do you guys have any specific questions? Any suggestions? Anything that I might have overlooked? Have you done these exercises?
So I'm lost here.
Like to see your faces. I know, Kurt, that you are really, really deep into structuring the information and the things that you have done. You have shared a lot of interesting approaches. You're already gathering answers and questions, right?
Oh yeah.
But have you gone through this process? I know that is basic, but maybe you have discovered something that you might have missed.
Well, okay. My first question is, go to the thing you just showed is in which course or which part in the
It's just coming out. Like
okay.
I want first to give you guys the introduction, then I will release the full guide, like the full step-by-step process, how to create your Google Search Console, how to understand Google Analytics, what things to change, what things to move. I can do that. I cannot do that in this call. I rather like introduce it, get you guys working on that idea, get to file the checklist, and then you will jump right into the specifics that you need to do on those specific things. But that specific step-by-step process is going to be released tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay. Um, so let's Let me ask you a question about the bot traffic. So are you doing, I mean, I've got a friend who's a Windows a Windows log expert
Uh-huh.
and things. So this is I mean, right now we don't have a true indicator. So we're kind of we're making up our indicator, so to speak, or we're looking for clues, right? Just any sort of clues.
Sure.
And so raw clues are perhaps my analytics are a little bit different or something else. But right now I'm asking now, I mean, we're just exploring. So the Windows thing may be a great way to go. Is that correct?
Well, the thing that I mentioned is, well, whatever tool that allows you to read the server logs, which are the like the visit book that you get from your server. That's the thing that that you could use as first party data from your website. I know that there's a couple of tools, but I haven't played with those. They claim to track that. But I know that you have to like set up that at the server level, so that would be a little bit more complex. But yeah, that's the one that I have the most faith on right now.
One other question.
Sure.
Okay, I'm a visual learner. All
Yeah.
right. I want to see it. Okay. And it's hard to find people who are doing it right or finding sites to do right. Would you take just 1 minute and tell me if I had a brand new site, okay, and let's say I'm going to do my bio page, okay, or
Mm.
something simple, or my about us page.
Hmm.
Okay. So the way I see things, the way I'm learning is at the top of the page is going to, for lack of a better term, be an explanation that will be backed up by schema for AI. So it could just be, here's what our brand is and here's what we're all about and those things. And so it's almost like a mini executive summary. And then deeper in the page are the longer things that the human needs to see. Because I have two lenses. I have to have an SEO lens, which I've always had, but now I got to have an AEO lens, right? And I've got both lenses, and I understand how it might look in the code, but I don't know what it looks like on the front side.
Mm,
Is that a
exactly.
fair question? I'm
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And so far, like we are still on the early stage where UI is still important, but the at the code level. So let me show you. Let me show you. You just told me that you are a visual learner, and I appreciate that. That's what I'm going to show you. This is just your basic website. So for people that have more like a landing page, it will work for a user. But the thing that AI understands is structure, is headings, is links. So I know that you guys cannot see my pop-up here. Have you guys used the detail Chrome extension? Let me see if I can make this visible somehow.
I think we see it. Is it the purple one?
Yeah,
This
yeah, it
kind
is.
of. Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think it's shown in the screen, the menu, the breakdown.
No, it's not.
So yeah, that's the issue there. Let me find a way. Let me share the whole screen and I share the other things.
Can you post the Chrome extension?
Yeah, sure. That's an interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is an actual extension where you get to read the things that are machine optimized for SEO traditionally, but then you can use those as a starting point, as a reference to see how these machines understand your site. So it's free. It was recently acquired by Ahrefs. A lot of things are happening with these sites. Yesterday, Adobe bought SEMrush. I don't know if you guys saw that. So there's a lot of investments around that. So this is what I tried to show you, but I think it's not visible. This is what this extension does. You get an overview, you get headings, you get links, images, schema. social links, and well, other things. This is essentially what a machine is able to read from the start. The first thing that they will read are the page title and the description. That's what they get from the index. So this is the thing that you need to make sure that you are targeting a, well, kind of a broad, but rather a relevant keyword. That's where AI is able to find the first batch of sources. That's where you get selected as a citation, but that doesn't get you recommended. That's in the next step where AI enters like each one of the sites and reads the information inside of that. And that's first, AI doesn't read the full page. It will be so expensive, and we know that AI works in a way that is energy conscious. So they will go heading by heading. So the things that you put on the headings are the things that will guide the next step that these bots are able to fetch, that are able to read. So let me just pick that section again. It's now loading. This one. Yeah, so let me share this right now. Yeah, well, this is what you see. And it goes by hierarchies. So your H1s are going to be the broad topics. That's the thing. So if you put something that is not relevant, maybe a brand message, so looking out for your family or something like that, that will throw off AI or any bots. They will try to find deeper and deeper connections in the specific topic, in the specific question that they are looking for. So you should have an H1 that describes the page, and from there you will go and define H2s, like our underlying topics inside of that H1, and that's how it works. And you will go with H3s if you have any specific things that relate to the H2 right above them. That's the structure that you should look into like the most. Once, if you are optimizing for answers, you should have an H2 with a specific question, and then right after a paragraph of the text should be the answer. That's how it works. It will go with the headings. If it finds what it's looking for, it will read the text, and if it's relevant, it will pull that off to build the answer. So that's kind of the logic. There's also, well, schema, and schema is really important because it's in its own language and it's easy to gather. So it's just like the most descriptive text that you are able to provide, and it doesn't have to be located in any page. It is not related at all with UI. You are rather describing it in your own terms what elements, entities, relationships, mentions, FAQs, whatever things you have there, you are putting those elements labeled in the code so that these machines are just able to just read that specific snippet and find out if this information in the page is relevant or not. So those are the things that are the most important things to optimize when thinking on retrieval, on relevance and information inside of your page. We are still thinking on UI, but I don't think that's long term. We are seeing that ChatGPT is optimizing for API. So rather than just having a front end, you will have your data properly set up in order for an AI agent to just go inside, gather the information or the function, and have that connection without an user. So that's something that I consider to be in the future.
May I ask a question? Thank
Sure.
you. This was wonderful. Okay, so let's suppose I'm building a new page or a new site.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my first thinking
Yeah.
needs to be how's AI going to see this page? And
Yeah.
I need to think of where I use as a copywriter, where I think I want my headline to be this H1, I want this, I want that. So now I'm screwing the machine because I'm sending it down the wrong road because I was trying to be clever or smart or something stupid like that. So is the proper thinking that I think like the machine first, and this page is all about this, that leads to this H1 to this H2 to this H3. I write it for the machine first, then I think about what the user interface might be or other places to put it. Is that the right way to approach, or am I still so lost?
Yeah, yeah, you have to find the sweet spot. So, if we are looking for discovery, we by all means need to put all of this information in a way that is understandable for machines, but also we have to consider the way that that a user will read it. And one thing that I'm reading over and over on developing topical maps is that you should consider your page structure in a way that answers the questions, like again in headings, but answer the questions in the order that people might search them for. So if you avoid a person, a searcher, uh, going back to the search to perform a question because you have included that in the logical order, that's where you win. You will get more time on page, you will get better signals, you will get to fulfill better the search intent. So yeah, I think you should optimize for that because we are talking about discovery. We are talking about getting people inside our website with relevance, and AI is taking that action on behalf of our users. So yeah, we will be digging deeper, and this is a kind of part of the topical mapping and content briefs and some other things that we have prepared. These things are really advanced, and we want to provide you guys with the most clear uh, guides on these topics. Yeah, Shazad, are you raised? Do you have your hands raised? Let me go back. Yeah, Shazad, you're on. You have a question? No. Okay. Okay, Patty. I will end with you because I'm already late for a call. So
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I'll be super quick, Julian.
sure, Patty.
The stuff that you're going through at a high level is what you cover on this call, but then the pioneers are going to get the in-depth to, I think it was Kurt that was going into detail. He was asking. So we're going to go detail or no?
No. We promise to give everything for free, so that's going to be at the standard level. The pioneers are going to get more advanced techniques, like a specific guidance on some tools, workflows, or some things like that further down the road. So we are developing this as we speak in a way that is as clear as possible. So the best source is going to be in the community, in the classroom for the AEO blueprint. That's where you will find this information break down into step-by-step processes that you guys can follow. So you guys can help me develop this thing with asking questions. So if you guys have any questions specifically, put those in the community and I will make sure to answer those in the guide if I have missed something. So yeah, you will all get access to that. I'm recording and I'm doing this and that. So you guys are going to get that soon enough.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you. Thank you guys. I have a call right now. I'm late. So thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for your attention. Drop your questions in the community and I promise